Your sea kale will be, you can see right here, that's the crown of the sea kale. There's one, I have a couple of others spread out here. So I'm really only concerned with this one here. I'm gonna force it so that I can get some sea kale from it, so I can show you how to force it. I'm really not gonna force a lot of them this year. I'm going to spread some sluggo because the slugs love to get in here. And I'm spreading the sluggo just to prevent the slugs from eating my nice little harvested or growing sea kale, because I don't want to share. And I have these huge pots, and I'm gonna go like this, put some dirt around it to keep it in there good, and a top which I will pull off when I need to just take a peek, and I'll flash a light in there, because the whole point is to keep light away from the plant so that you can blanch it. So that's forcing sea kale. They have these awesome forcing pots, which I wanted to buy because they're so pretty, but they're hundreds of dollars, $100 for one of those forcing pots. So this works just as well to get that job done. I'm going to add some hay around that as well, around this whole area, basically to keep everything covered. In another week or two, the blanched sea kale should be ready. It'll sprout up in the pot, and you'll just keep cutting it until you're done eating it, and then you'll remove the pot and let it grow the rest of the way by itself. One way to expand your sea kale is to take root cuttings. So let's dig down here, see what we can find. This one's really long. It kind of goes that way. Let's see if we can find a root in there. Oh, it's huge. This one's a really huge plant. It's a much older plant. So oh, there's some roots. Okay, so sea kale grows long and deep, and it spreads itself pretty far. So this started to rot a bit, but maybe it'll still grow something. Here, gonna snap that piece off there. So if you snap off a piece of your sea kale, a root, you can stick it in the ground, and that will grow another sea kale plant. Here's another one. So we'll throw those in the ground to grow more sea kale, but for now, I'm gonna recover this, cover it with hay. You wanna leave a little bit of that open, so you don't want the whole thing covered. Now it's just waiting to have the ground warm up some more to make that sea kale grow. And as it grows, it'll be blanched and it'll be delicious. Here's some sea kale that grew from the root. You can see, I'll pull it out real quick. There's the root there. And you can see the sea kale growing from it. So if you're going to attempt to grow sea kale from the roots, just know that it's a great idea. It works out really well. There's another one, you can see it growing in here. And I have some others elsewhere, but there's those two. Here's a sea kale plant that I planted from seed. But if you notice, it's a little tinier. And it'll take a bit more time, I think, to develop, whereas this here is probably gonna take off much better and be a stronger plant right away. This is sea kale that's not blanched. You can see from this particular crown how it's growing up. It'll get much taller. So, sea kale has been covered for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it's about time to go ahead and harvest. There you go. That's what your sea kale will look like when it's blanched. So you're going to take this, I'm just going to cut it like that, and see, that's what it should look like after you cut it. You don't want to cut it all the way down. You want to leave it some room for more leaves to grow up, more of the stalks to grow. So, okay, so there we go. Sea kale that's been blanched, and you'll cover it again so you can harvest some more.